Inside the ambulance, the paramedics worked fast. One placed an oxygen mask over Hawk's face, while the other checked his vitals. Cole sat in the corner, his hands trembling. "Is he going to be okay?" he asked. "We got him stable," one of the paramedics said. "But if that woman hadn't given him aspirin when she did, we'd be having a very different conversation, right? Now," Cole looked down at his hands. "You don't understand, Hawk. He's not just anybody. He's everything to us." The paramedic nodded. "Then you should find that woman and thank her properly," Cole pulled out his phone and stared at the screen. He'd gotten her name. Sienna Clark. He typed a quick message to someone and hit send. "Find out everything about Sienna Clark. Address, job, family, everything. We owe her." Within minutes, his phone buzzed with a response. He read it. His jaw tightened. "Single mom, 2 jobs, behind on rent, walking to work because her car broke down." Cole looked at Hawk, unconscious but breathing. "She gave everything for you, brother, everything." 5:00 a.m. the next morning, Sienna's alarm went off. She dragged herself out of bed, her body aching from the long day before. She walked into the kitchen and opened the cabinet. 1 banana, a handful of crackers. That was it. She split the banana in half, arranged the crackers on a plate, and poured a glass of water. Maya came padding out in her pajamas, rubbing her eyes. "Morning, Mommy, what's for breakfast?" "A special breakfast today, baby." Sienna forced a smile. "Banana and crackers. Your favorite?" Maya didn't complain. She never did. She climbed into a chair and started eating. Sienna didn't make anything for herself. There wasn't enough. She sat across from Maya, watching her eat, trying not to think about how empty the cabinets were, trying not to think about the $8 she'd spent last night. Then came a knock at the door. Sienna frowned. It was barely 7 a.m. Who would be knocking this early? She opened the door. Mrs. Johnson stood there. Her neighbor, a woman in her 60s who'd lived on this street for 30 years. She had her arms crossed and a deep frown on her face. "See, baby," Mrs. Johnson said, her voice tight. "We need to talk." "Good morning, Mrs. Johnson. Is everything okay?" Mrs. Johnson stepped closer and lowered her voice. "I heard you helped one of those biker thugs last night. One of those Hell's Angels." Sienna's stomach dropped. How did she know? He was having a heart attack. "Mrs. Johnson, I had to." "Child, those Hell's Angels are criminals." Mrs. Johnson cut her off. "Drugs, violence, all kinds of mess. What were you thinking?" "You got Maya to think about." "He was a human being who needed help," Sienna said, her voice steady but quiet. "That's all I saw." Mrs. Johnson shook her head. Disappointment written all over her face. "You're too kind for your own good, Sienna. That kindness is going to get you hurt. Mark my words." She turned and walked back to her apartment, leaving Sienna standing in the doorway. Sienna closed the door slowly and leaned against it. Her hands were shaking. Had she made a mistake? She walked back to the kitchen. Maya was finishing her breakfast, humming to herself. Sienna pulled the business card out of her pocket and stared at it. Plain white. Crown with Wings logo, phone number. She turned it over. Nothing on the back. Who were these people? She picked up her phone and typed out a text message. "Hi, this is Sienna Clark. Cole gave me this number." She hit send before she could change her mind. Within seconds, her phone rang. She stared at the screen. Unknown number. Her finger hovered over the answer button. She let it go to voicemail. A minute later, she listened to the message. "Sienna, it's Cole. Hawk wants to meet you today. Can you come to Murphy's Diner on 5th Street at 3 p.m.? It's important, please." Sienna's heart pounded. She walked to the laundromat for her morning shift, but her mind was somewhere else entirely. The hours dragged by. Every time the door opened, she jumped. Every time her phone buzzed, her stomach dropped. She kept replaying Mrs. Johnson's words. "Those Hell's Angels are criminals." What if she was right? What if Sienna had just made the biggest mistake of her life? What if showing up to that meeting put Maya in danger? Then she remembered Hawk's face, gray and lifeless on that pavement. His weak grip on her hand. His whispered words. "You saved my life." He'd been a human being in that moment. Not a criminal. Not a Hell's Angel. Just a man who was dying. And she couldn't regret saving him. She couldn't. At 2:30 p.m., she walked to the diner where she worked. Linda was already there, wiping down tables. "You okay, honey? You look like you've seen a ghost." Sienna showed her the business card. "I helped someone last night." "A Hell's Angel! He wants to meet me." Linda's eyes went wide. "Hell's Angels! Sienna, what did you do?" "He was dying. I gave him aspirin." "That's all?" Linda stared at her for a long moment, then leaned in close. "You listen to me. Hell's Angels, they're not like regular people. They have codes, honor, loyalty. If you saved one of them, especially someone important, you don't forget that. What are you saying? I'm saying go to that meeting. See what they want. What's the worst that could happen? Free coffee? Sienna tried to smile, but her hands were still shaking. At 2:45 p.m., she left the diner and walked toward Murphy's on 5th Street. Her stomach was in knots. Every step felt heavier than the last. She thought about turning around a dozen times. She thought about Maya. What if something went wrong? What if she didn't come home? But then she thought about Hawk's words. Tell them Hawk sent you. There was something in his voice, gratitude, respect, maybe even kindness. She kept walking. As she got closer, she saw them. Motorcycles, dozens of them, lined up along the street, chrome gleaming in the afternoon sun. Men in leather vests standing beside them. They all turned to look at her as she approached. Her heart hammered in her chest. She stopped. Her instinct screamed at her to turn around and run. Then Cole stepped out of the diner. Sienna, thank you for coming. He walked over and extended his hand. She shook it, her palm sweaty. Is Hawk okay? Cole smiled. Come see for yourself. He led her inside. The diner was full. Every booth, every table, all bikers. All wearing the same vest, all watching her. The room went silent. Sienna felt dozens of eyes on her. Her breath came in short bursts. What had she walked into? And there in the back booth sat Hawk, alive, breathing, a huge smile on his face. Sienna Clark, he said, his voice strong. Come sit down. She walked over slowly. He gestured to the seat across from him. She sat, her legs trembling. How are you feeling? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm alive because of you. The doctor said if I'd gone another 2 minutes without that aspirin, I'd be dead. Sienna didn't know what to say. Hawk leaned forward. His eyes were intense, serious. Do you know who I am? Cole said you're someone important. Hawk chuckled. I'm the president of the Hells Angels, Northern California chapter, 73 members. He gestured around the room. And every single one of them would have walked past me that night. He paused. Except you. Sienna's breath caught. Her mind raced. President of the Hells Angels. She'd saved the president of the Hells Angels. I didn't do it because of who you are. I didn't know.